Welcome back to the show. Well, as promised, the last segment with Lydia, we learned all the nutritional value of grapefruits and citrus in general as well. And we decided, you know what other recipes can we do? What are we going to do with this? Well, just invite Korey Keeley, because we're cooking in the kitchen with Korey Keeley, cooking in the kitchen with Korey Keeley, cooking in the kitchen with Korey Keeley, cooking grapefruit with Korey. Korey, how are you? Good
I'm
to
very
see
good. Yeah, you too.
Poor Korey. You thought you were getting away with it,
No,
right?
I thought you
'Cause
did the
start?
little intro.
No,
No, we didn't finish the full song in Lydia's segment, so we needed it here.
Oh, you guys. I love it.
So this is what you're helping us with, right? I think all of us think of it basically as a breakfast thing. You cut it in half, you section it off, and you eat it. But you've got some great ideas.
I have a love affair with grapefruit. It's been gone on for my whole life, and it started when I was a kid. My grandparents were snowbirds, and they'd always go down to Florida, and they would ship a crate of grapefruits to us, and so we'd get it. We'd be so excited. My mom would cook them up and get them ready. So we have this tradition always in my family. So my mom always did this. She would just segment like 50 grapefruits, and we would just have it in everything.
Nice.
So that's the first thing. And then as my life went on and everything, I went to university and I gained 30 pounds between university and Europe, because I was eating bread and cheese and no money and all that stuff. And I got home and I looked in the mirror and went, oh my goodness, wow. So I thought, I'm going on a grapefruit diet.
But it was all the rage.
Oh,
I
did
remember that. Yeah.
Oh, the grapefruit. But I mean, it didn't last. But what it did do is teach me that when I eat a grapefruit, when I'm hungry or like mid-afternoon, I still do it. It gives you that little burst of goodness, and you feel like it's going into your cells and cleaning you and making you healthy.
And it's so filling.
Yeah, it's
so
satisfying.
It goes down light, but you're right. It does.
She said that we could just,
filling.
you know,
Just gonna
I know. I said,
grapefruit
eat
throughout the whole thing.
She's going to take this home. So that's why I thought, like, yes, you can definitely just cut them and eat them, but I like to do things in bulk and buy a ton of them and then use them in lots of different ways. So I'm going to show you a couple things about your grapefruit. So you might think, well, I had a grapefruit and it was dry or something. Like someone will say, I'm like, well, you pick it up, and because it's loaded with water, like it's mostly water, you pick it up, it should feel heavy for its size, right?
Yeah.
So that means it's really, really juicy. The next thing you want to look is make sure there's no like obvious huge blemishes on it. And you can see these marks. These are just like little wind whips because they're in the Florida tropics and they get hit with the branches.
Right.
So those are fine. That's nothing, these little black spots.
Okay.
So that is nothing. You want to look and make sure it says Florida, because that's the only place in my mind you get Florida grapefruits, because my grandparents sent them to me forever.
That's
and
right.
So that is part of this is where you get your grapefruits.
Yeah.
And then for storing them, when you get them home, they can stay on the counter for 3 to 4 days, probably 4 to 5 really. And before you cut into them, let them come to room temperature, because they become really juicy and delicious. When they're warm, they soften up and become more juicy.
Okay.
You can keep them in the fridge for up to 3 weeks, sometimes longer. They are big, so that's the only thing. They will take up a lot of space, and that's why I like to segment them and just get them into circulation too, because they're there when you open the door.
So keep them in the fridge, take them out, let them get to room temperature, and, you know, and you can have them for a couple of days. So it's not like your tomato rule where
these go in the tomatoes never in the fridge.
Yeah,
so
I know, she's
never.
very strict about that.
If you're keeping them in the fridge, could I take it out the night before and it's ready for the morning? That I'm good with that.
Good planner. That's exactly what you should do. It's perfect then. So then another thing you can buy is
I'm perfect. Korey said so.
You're perfect. This is when you're storing them too. You don't want to keep them in a plastic bag, because the air doesn't get at them. It won't circulate. It can cause them to get moldy.
Okay.
So they come in these mesh bags for a reason. You can just leave it like that in your fridge or on your counter if you like, or just loose storage. A little bit cool area is great. Okay, so we have to do something with them.
Yes.
Yay! Okay, where's my knife? Okay, so again, I love my serrated edge knives. This is. It's big. It's a bread knife, really. It's excellent for chopping up grapefruit. So if you're going to segment them, you want to have a flat surface to work with, first of all. So you cut off one end and two ends, both ends. And don't worry about getting a little bit close. I get to the point where I'm like very competitive with myself to see if I can skin it to the perfect, where I have like one small little bit. But don't worry, because we just squeeze that in there, and then I often will just pour the juice off of there and drink it as a glass of juice, because the juice does come out. So you can do that.
Nothing goes to waste with Korey.
No, we don't waste too much. We try not to. And then you basically just run your knife down and around. Okay? And so we're going to make a black bean salsa, which I love, and it mixes up some mango and avocado and grapefruit, all kind of those tropical flavors that in the middle of winter, I don't know about you, but I crave sunshine. I crave the feeling of like the Caribbean.
And this does it. It does.
Yeah.
You're right. It makes you feel like, you know, even when you were just
Makes you
describing,
feel good.
oh, those are the little wind whacks. And I'm thinking, oh, all of a sudden I'm on the beach.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, I want some of those wind whacks. Go ahead, do it.
Yeah.
Now, I have to admit, I have never sectioned one like this before.
Okay.
I always do the struggle.
I have to do it over.
Even if I was going to put it in a salad, I always do the struggle of cutting it in half and then, you know.
Yeah, you see me every
around.
day with the hole and it's
Yeah.
dripping everywhere.
I
and
love
Why am I
doing
not doing this?
Yeah.
And these little, the pith or whatever, this membrane, the membrane, it's the perfect divider. So it just allows you to run your knife along it and then it just pops it out. Okay, so
Perfect.
I'm holding it over there. See how juicy it is? That is loaded with goodness.
Yeah.
It's just pure goodness. So what we're going to do is take some, you saw how I did that. So you just continue on and then you squeeze every bit of juice out of it into here.
Okay.
So we're taking some black beans. Okay, 1 can of black beans that's been rinsed, okay, just really well. Putting that in there. I mostly prepped this. This recipe called for papaya, but I didn't have it.
Okay.
So I'm using mango, and I'm just kind of scored it, and then isn't that fun how you can just do that with this?
Yeah,
little
you've done that
bites?
with us before.
Yeah.
Little Korey
So little
tricks.
bits of mango in there, and then our grapefruit. We're going to use 2 grapefruits.
Okay.
An avocado, again, that I chopped up.
Do you want me to put some
Yeah.
grapefruit?
We're
2
just going to put
grapefruits,
some
roughly.
orange juice.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, 2 grapefruits in section.
I'm going to chop it up a little bit.
Oh,
just put it here.
Sorry, I'm all excited.
I know,
See?
because it is a salsa and it's bite-sized, so I want it all to be. But no, you're good. That's all good. I was just going to say,
No,
you
you're
keep
fine,
eating.
TL.
Yeah, thank you.
You just keep eating.
You just keep eating that grapefruit. It's all good. So I'm just going to chop it up into the kitchen. I'm sorry.
No, it's
I
completely
just want
fine.
bite sizes.
I just feel useless at times in the kitchen,
No,
so I'm trying
don't.
to...
Here, squeeze this. You can do that. I don't feel like I've got it done here.
Feel useful, TL.
Please put this in, and we need
Dump
to
it.
stir it too. Okay.
Okay.
Please stir. And then there's also a little bit of seasoning.
All right. What are we using for seasoning?
Cilantro, fresh
Okay.
cilantro. These are all flavors you're going to find in
that whole
delicious.
thing?
Yeah,
What I
about
put
like
in?
2
Okay.
tablespoons. And then there's a little bit of salt and some ground cumin, and then the grapefruit. So you're getting the sweet but the sour of the grapefruit, the creaminess of the avocado, sweetness of the mango, cilantro, and some lime juice. Okay?
Beautiful.
It's delicious. So we're going to put this on some grilled chicken. We're going to have this in the fridge. You could eat it with some taco chips. You're going to put it on. So all these combination of things like. So you've got this made now. You could put it on your salad, and like Lydia had said, a spinach salad, you always see it with some sort of citrus, and it's to help the spinach needs to work with the citrus. So put a little bit of the salsa on and some chicken.
You're ready to go.
You've got lots of options. So
Korey, you're
it's just think
brilliant in
about
the
how.
kitchen. What can we
And
say?
if I'm not mistaken, we're seeing
pretty.
some of those healthy fats in that avocado too, aren't we?
Very good,
obsessed with
TL. You are
avocados.
correct.
We learn a lot
Right from
around
Craig's
here.
first segment there. Korey, always a pleasure
good.
having you on
Yeah.
the show. If people want these recipes, floridacitrus.ca is
Yeah.
the place to go.
Check it out. There's
there you have
tons
it.
of info.
Tons of info. floridacitrus.ca. Don't go away. There's plenty more to come. We got the second half of the show coming up right after the break.
La, la, la.